Thanks so much, Congressman. Good to see you.
It's good to be with you.
Let's talk about what's really changing, because we've drilled down a little bit on this. You know, September 23rd, it's a big day, 6 months. Children are no longer going to be denied coverage for pre-existing conditions. Young adults will be allowed to stay on their parents' plan until they turn 26. Plans must cover certain preventative services free of charge. So we talk about all this, yet at the same time we're told, and the LA Times has a story today, that insurance companies in the future are going to stop selling insurance for kids because they don't want to. They're trying to get around this requirement that children with pre-existing conditions have to be covered. So they are already trying to basically screw the public. What can you do about that in Congress?
Andrea, I was very upset to hear about that. But keep in mind, those companies, I think it's 4 of them, are talking about doing away with this insurance for new policies in certain states, not all states. But I think the Congress is going to have to act. Instead of doing what our Republican friends are saying that they'll do, that is pretty much repeal healthcare reform, what we've got to do is address this and make it better. We've got to address those issues that those insurance companies are concerned about. And Secretary Sebelius has been meeting with at least one of those companies, trying to figure out how to address these issues. And I believe that we can work that out. We can't turn our back on our children, Andrea. We just can't do that.
Well, we're talking about 500,000 who might be covered. When you talk about only a few states, but one of those states is California, so you're talking about a lot of children. A
lot of children. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to minimize it.
I understand.
But Andrea, let me tell you, I keep hearing the media type say that perhaps Democrats should turn away from health care and not talk about it. Let me tell you, everywhere I go, I'm going to talk about it, because I think that's the most important thing that I have done since I've been in public life over 30 years. I mean, we're talking about saving people's lives. Keep in mind that on 9/11, we lost about 4,000 people, and rightfully so, we mourn their deaths. We've got 45,000 people every year dying. And what are we going to turn our backs on them? Is one life less valuable than another? We can do better. And I think the Democrats have to stand up and be Democrats. And we have to lead. Sometimes you have to explain to people what we see every day. And that is people who cannot get well because they do not have health insurance, period.
Congressman, in your district, that works. That works for you, but you are not in an endangered district. We've got Glenn Nye, one of your colleagues, 2nd District of Virginia. He's not even describing himself as a Democrat in his campaign commercials and isn't even mentioning health care. So you are in a minority in terms of people, members of Congress seeking re-election, as you all are, who are mentioning health care.
I knew you were going to say that. Just this morning, let me tell you, just this morning, a few hours ago, I spoke to a pretty conservative group of folks, and when I explained to them the fact that America is better than to leave our sick dying or to leave them unable to get well, I ended up getting a standing ovation. And these were not your super liberal folks. And what I'm saying to you is that I'm glad the president is getting out there and talking about this legislation, because it is very important legislation. And I get tired of people saying that we did not address the issue of jobs. Keep in mind, before the president even got into office, the first thing he said was that we were going to do the recovery bill, and he wanted it on his desk a few days after he got into office. And it took a while, but again, we are on the right track. Are we getting there as fast as I would like to see us? No. But the fact is that we are moving in the right direction, and we simply cannot afford to go backwards, period.
Elijah Cummings, it's always great to see you. Thanks so much.
Good to see you.